All right, we back. Now, today's going to be a quick video, man. So I was watching Chaotic Truth, man. Big up to Chaotic Truth. Very funny brother, very comedic brother. In case you didn't know, Chaotic Truth is what they would call a black conservative, right? He's definitely on the right-wing side of the spectrum. It's not something that he hides. He's very flamboyant when it comes to his political beliefs. So I was watching one of his live streams the other day, and it kind of turned into, a black conservative versus black liberal debate. Now, the original topic had something to do with some 10-year-old kid giving a speech talking against, the American government, talking about racism, systemic racism. And as you know, Chaotic Truth with black conservative, them black conservatives, they ain't trying to hear nothing about no systemic racism and things like that. So let's get into it, man. I'm gonna review the live stream, certain parts and pieces that I thought was cool. Let's get into it. Run the footage.
This little brat is being brainwashed, and he doesn't realize that he's living in the lap of luxury. If it wasn't for America, he'd be a child soldier somewhere in West Africa. But hold on for a second. Let me play this little brat. What did he say? Wait a minute. What did he say?
This country practices a culture that lacks equal rights.
A country that practices equal rights for blacks when blacks are probably the most famous entertainers, athletes. When there are millions of blacks who have a network of $1 million or plus. There are blacks in the millions who have college degrees, blacks who are homeowners. What is this little stupid kid talking about? The Secretary of Defense is black. The Vice President is black. The former president before Trump was black. What on earth is this little brat talking about? Blacks equal rights for blacks? Who gave him this stupid speech?
All right, we back. Now, listen, I don't fall on either side of the political spectrum, but I'll say this. My one problem with black conservatives is, depending on the conversation, they try to act like they don't understand what true power is versus symbolic power, right? For example, if we were having a different discussion, we're having a deep economic discussion, then Chaotic Truth would really break shit down to means of production, economics, commerce, everything like that. But when it comes to trying to show how black people have power in America, he's using a bunch of symbolic nonsense where, if you really break it down, you understand black people do not occupy any position of power in anything that he mentioned. For example, on the surface, what he said was true. Of course, we got successful black people in entertainment, in sports, in politics, in academia, but we got to distinguish between symbolic power and actual tangible structural power. Because even though symbolic power, it sounds good, it looks good, it doesn't really translate into real control and influence over the systems that shape society. For example, when you look at the entertainment industry, you could say, oh yeah, we got the rappers, we got the singers, we got the ball players. But even though we got black entertainers who, yeah, they got a whole bunch of money, they got millions of dollars, some of them even got billions, yeah, they world famous, hella influential, but we gotta recognize the ultimate power lies with the executives, the producers, and the owners, and those who really control the industry. The majority of the people that we look up to, the black entertainers and the black celebrities, they don't occupy the position of real power in the industry. And I don't say that to promote a victim mentality, because I say the same thing all the time on my channel. Black men should have a mentality to where you would rather be a captain of industry. You would rather be the one, the CEO of the company, the founder of the company, instead of being the one always signed to the company, being the worker, the employee, the talent of the company. I always say that on my channel, because I understand where the true power lies. The true power doesn't lie with standing on the stage and rapping and busting and dance. The true power doesn't lie with being on the basketball court and busting a three. The true power lies being up in the goddamn executive suite, drinking a beer, smoking a cigar, doing whatever, chilling, making a profit. The true power lies is being the executive in the boardroom, giving the budget for the album. That's where the true power lies. And Chaotic Truth is an intelligent brother. He already understands this shit. He understands everything I'm talking about 100%. But in typical black conservative fashion, sometimes my brothers on the conservative side, on the right-wing side, sometimes they be playing stupid. Sometimes they be playing stupid, but it is what it is. Just like my brothers on the black liberal side, sometimes they be playing stupid. I know how it goes, man. Because when you are tied to these political factions, sometimes you are forced to play stupid in order to advance the political agenda. Even going back to what he said about black people having college degrees. I mean, no doubt, we got a whole bunch of educated black folks out here working for white companies, of course. But the true power lies in the ability to create economic opportunities and provide employment for your community. That is where the true power lies. And until we are doing that on a large scale, Chaotic Truth, it doesn't matter how much you talk about these college degrees, that shit don't mean nothing in terms of real structural power in society. And he knows that. He knows that. Like, I'm not saying that he doesn't know that. Chaotic Truth, he's smarter than that, bro. Even going back to what he said about we got so many black millionaires and things like that, that's a fact. See, Chaotic Truth tells a bunch of half-truths sometimes. Sometimes that's a half-truth. Everything he said was a half-truth. But we got to break it down even deeper. We got to understand what is the source of that wealth? Was the wealth generated within economic infrastructure built by the black community that is supported and maintained by the black dollar circulating amongst different black businesses? Was it created like that? Was it created where black people employed themselves and generated profit amongst themselves? Because if not, then that money is tethered to economic structures that were created outside the community. Just like when you talk about the college degrees, yeah, you got the college degree, but you got to take your college degree and go beg the white company to take you on board. And if that's the case, then where's the true power? There's no power in that. And Chaotic Truth, you understand that. So stop trying to act like black people is so powerful and we having so much money and power. No, we're not. Anyways, let's continue.
Right here, because we really need more money. It's wrong. This is all wrong right now to even, we shouldn't be where we at. We should be further ahead. This economy is supposed to be booming. But if they would give us more money, we the biggest spenders in the economy, but we can't buy more. These kids, they walk around with $200 sneakers. If they got more money, they would boost the economy more. They would be wearing $400 or $500 sneakers, because we the biggest supporters of this economy. We the ones that spend the most money in this economy. You know what I'm saying? So we need more. We need more. Yes.
I do understand what.
All right, we back. Now, Chaotic Truth is an excellent broadcaster because he's very chaotic in a way, because he just comes on, he comes with a topic, and then he sits back, brings up the panel, and he just sits back and watches the chaos. Now, this is the opposite end of the spectrum. Now, that's why I say it's a black conservative versus black liberal debate. You could even call that guy a socialist, right? Conservative versus socialist debate, because he's talking a whole bunch of socialism, a whole bunch of, spread the wealth, just give the wealth to the poor. Like, this dude is all the way on the left wing side of the spectrum. And the left wing side of the spectrum, what he was talking about was the spending power. He said, if you give us more money, we're going to boost the economy even more. We're going to spend more money. Our spending power is going to increase. You see, on the left wing side, they also have this false illusion of power, what they call spending power. We got a spending power of, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. But the same thing I say to the black conservative who wants to tell me about all these black millionaires and all these black, these educated people with degrees and all these black people, that got, homes and millions of dollars. I tell them the same thing. If you don't have the networks and the economic systems in place to take that spending power, to take that wealth that you're talking about, that money that you're talking about, and circulate it among your people and generate profit among your people, then what does it matter? Because all of that money is going to go to somebody else's community who's coming in and setting up shop and selling you goods and services. Because if you're not the one selling goods and services, then it doesn't matter how much money you're talking about you're going to spend. Spending money is not powerful. Just like being an employee in somebody's company is not powerful. The same way Chaotic Truth was telling me about all these rappers and these athletes. But these rappers and these athletes, they're not owning the team. They're not owning the record company. So all of that is meaningless. Just like the spending power argument is meaningless. That's why when you look at both sides of the spectrum, they both kind of delusional in a way, right? But I'll say this. Sometimes the black liberal speaks out of innocent ignorance, whereas the black conservative, they be knowing better. Chaotic Truth knows better. He knows what real structural tangible power is versus symbolic bullshit, and he's still trying to pass off symbolic bullshit as real power, and I don't like that, Chaotic. I don't like that. Now let's get back into it.
We deserve more, much more, not a little more, much more. We've been deprived. They've been getting rich and rich and rich. The rich get rich and the poor get poor.
Portia, thank you so much, Portia. Slow to you. Portia brings up a good point, and it goes back to what this little boy is talking about too. She says this man, has a microphone, which probably costs $150, $200, a laptop or a desktop computer that probably costs $1,000 minimum. He has the internet. You're paying about $75 a month.
$2,000.
Okay, $2,000. He has a roof over his head. You've never called in from the park or under a tent. And you're literally crying, sir. What are you?
I'm not crying. I'm just saying we deserve much more.
Now, listen, as somebody who, on my short time on this earth, I've done some traveling and I moved around a little bit. I can say confidently that the black people that live in North America, we definitely have the highest quality of life, the highest level of opportunity. We live amazing, man. We live amazing, bro. We really live amazing. To put it into perspective, back in 2017, I had a pulmonary embolism, right? And, thank God I went to the hospital in time. But I had a cousin of mine around the same age who had a pulmonary embolism, right? He was back in Haiti and he died. He died from not having adequate medical care. We had around the same age, same medical condition. I lived. I came out the hospital, came out, had dinner, went back smashing my girl that I had at the time. And, my cousin down in Haiti had the same exact medical condition like a few months after me, and he passed away. He's not on this earth anymore. So, just to put it in perspective, I know that's just an anecdotal thing, but regardless of everything that goes down, we live a decent quality of life, especially compared to our family around the world in different locations for the most part. Of course, we got, black elites all over the world, but I'm talking about the average common man and woman. We're not talking about the extremes, the ones with the millions and billions of dollars. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the average person, the average black person in North America versus the average black person in a different location. When it comes to that topic, I agree with Chaotic. Let's continue.
I'm talking, sir. Your microphone is better than my microphone. You're not that downtrodden, Corin. Stop it. You live in New York, one of the most wealthiest cities on the planet. You got a $500 microphone. You got a $200 headphone. You got a smartphone. You're not.
Oh man, listen, man. Chaotic Truth. He's comedy, man. He's comedy. Now, I do want to clarify, even though I said that black people really don't occupy any position of power in the United States, I did not say that to promote a victim mentality and to say that we don't have the ability to actually accumulate power for ourselves. I didn't say that. I just said, as it stands right now, logically, when it comes to structural, tangible power, we do not have that. We have a lot of symbolic power, a lot of semi-influential power, but when it comes to actually controlling society for real, but now we don't got that. When it comes to controlling the means of production, we don't got that. And a large part of why we don't have that is because many of us do not understand what true power is. Now, when it comes to Chaotic Truth, I think he does understand. I think he's simply playing stupid. I think he's simply playing dumb. But when it comes to, for example, the other brother, the black liberal brother who was talking about spending power. When you're talking about spending power, that's not real power, man. That's not real power. I'm talking about black men creating businesses at each level so we can be vertically integrated to keep our money circulating amongst each other. When I talk about power, that's what I talk about. When I talk about power, I'm not talking about simply going to college and getting the college degree. I'm talking about having infrastructure in place so when our kids go to college, they can come out of college with a degree and work in our companies, the companies that we founded, the companies where we are the CEOs, the companies where we are at an administrative level, managing everything from top to bottom. That is what I'm talking about when I talk about power. I'm not talking about symbolic power. I'm not talking about spending power. And that's why I don't really, identify with any part of the political spectrum. I'm kind of just off in this like purgatory, off on my own. And when it comes to me, I more so have an international mindset anyway. I'm not really too wrapped up in the political factions of the United States. And even though Chaotic Truth comes off as an American patriot, I believe he's the son of Nigerian immigrants, even though he's super, America first, waving the American flag, talking about the greatest of America, even though his family just got here the other day. I don't understand the attachment the brother has with the United States, but it is what it is, bro. I ain't knocking the brother. Like I said, I think he's extremely talented. I think he's a good broadcaster, very chaotic, always coming with the controversial topics and sitting back and watching that chaos ensue. So anyways, man, big up to Chaotic Truth. You a funny brother, man. Anyways, it's your boy Neferkari Desaline, Cash App up on the screen, and I'm gone. Peace.